and we'll get ourselves going. Okay, I'm going to pray real fast. Lord Jesus, help us, please, to understand what we need to understand. And God, we thank you for all the help you've already given us over this hard period of time. And we ask that you would continue to stay with us and give us peace. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, first off, if you don't have your stuff, you need to go get them right away. All right, you need to have a notebook, pencil, book, paper, and calculator. Okay, so please get those. And I will go over a couple of things. All right, while people are getting stuff. Okay, first off, we're going to start after today. We're going to start doing having to use a password. All right, so all that will go up on RenWeb, but I'm just letting you know that you will have to use a password probably to get in. And we're doing that to try to keep people from hacking into our lessons, which we obviously don't want to have happen. All right, and you guys are pretty good on this, but I will remind you, because I've been telling all my classes this, don't try to join the meeting until about 2 minutes ahead of time. All right, because as soon as the first person joins, it starts timing us. Now, if we run out of time, because I ran out of time with the other group, here's what's going to happen. I will start a new meeting and I will send you the link in an email. Okay, I will send you the link in an email. All right, so if this ends and we're not done, just wait a couple minutes, check your email, and then you can rejoin and we will finish. All right, I'm going to hope that everybody has their stuff together. So let's get going here. We are starting today. We're going to talk about circles. And so the first thing we're going to do, this is in your notes. Okay, this is in your notes, guys. We're going to put down the definition of a circle. And guys, this is coming straight out of your book. It's on page 509. 509 in your book. So you can look in your book too if you have trouble reading my writing. So a circle is a set of points equidistant. And that's just a fancy way to say they're all equally far away from. They're all equally far away from a fixed point called the center. And again, this comes right out of your book. You can copy it right out of your book if it's easier for you to do that. A circle is a set of points equidistant. Remember, that just means they're equally far away. They're all the same distance away. A fixed point called the center. And I should have put from here. It sounds kind of stupid. A set of points equidistant from a fixed point called the center. That makes more sense to me. Hi, guys. Okay, we cool? So far, so good? Okay, and guys, we do have a fair number the N-word notes today to do. All right, so we're going to start next one with a chord, and no, it has nothing to do with music. A chord is a line segment. Remember, we talked about those a while back. With both endpoints on a circle. So a line segment with both endpoints on a circle. A line segment with both endpoints on a circle. Now, we're going to start a diagram. You might want to give yourself a little bit of space for this. Now, Ms. Schreiber was really bright. I have 3 protractors, but I didn't bring a single compass home to do a circle. So I'm going to use this little tubey thing I have. It actually used to be the inside of a thing of tape. But I'm going to use that to do my circle. So do not feel bad if your circle doesn't look very good. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to say that's my center. So it's totally cool to eyeball it. Now I'm going to show a chord. So this is a chord because both of the endpoints here are on a circle. I'm going to call this AB. So now I can say that AB, remember how we do the symbol for a line segment is that little line over the top, is a chord. And I'm going to put that down so I have a picture now of what a chord is, not just a definition. Because we all know that sometimes pictures are a lot better than words. Okay, now guys, you make sure you tell me if I'm going too fast, okay? All right, if I go on, are we going to have heart attacks? No? Okay, it didn't look like anybody was fainting on me. All right, so next definition, diameter. Diameter is a chord. In other words, that means what? That means it's a line segment in which both ends are on a circle. A chord which goes through the center of a circle. Okay, a chord which goes through the center of a circle. A diameter is a chord that goes through the center of a circle. And remember, this is in your book too. Jeremiah, should I make you go up and work in the attic for old time's sake? Remember when you told me about that? Okay, so now I'm going to come down to my picture, my diagram here, my gorgeous circle, and I'm going to do a diameter. And so I'm going to put that line segment right through the center of my circle. And I know you probably have to kind of guess where the center is if you're like me, if you do it like me. And I'm going to say this is C and D. So I can say now that CD, line segment CD, is a diameter. Move that up so you can see my beautiful work. So line segment CD is the diameter because it goes right through the center of my circle. We good? Everybody I can see looks like they're pretty good. So I'm going to go on. Remember, you can tell me because remember, you got to put it in the chat. Okay. And Thomas, no, baby cakes. This is the best that I can do, which I know is not very good. I went out. This is a $65 camera. Wouldn't you think it would do a better job on this? So that's about the best. Here, let me see if I got it closer to the camera. Let's see if that makes a difference. Woo! That's a little zoomy, isn't it? Is that better? Better or worse? Or kind of the same? I now feel seasick. Okay, let's go back. So next dude we're going to do is the radius. Okay, so radius is a line segment from the center of a circle to the outside of it. So a line segment, that's scary. I might have to just let go with that. All right. Line segment from the center of a circle to the outside. Come on, focus for me, Bubby. Sometimes it gets better and sometimes it gets worse. Come on, come on. See what you made me do, Thomas? Now it's horrible. Okay, so I'm going to read that again because if you're like me, I can't read that. A line segment from the center, there it goes, from the center of a circle to the outside. Okay, so we're going to go to our example and we're going to do that. We're going to make one. I go like this. And I'm going to call my center E and my outside point here F. And then I'm going to say EF is a radius. So EF is a radius. Okay, everybody still with me? Everybody okay? All right, good job. All right, so now we're going to finally do what the whole lesson is about. Circumference. You know what? I should have titled my page. That's okay. But I know some of you like to keep your notes nice and neat. So that's actually the title for what we're doing here, circumference. But circumference is the distance around a what? Well, we've been talking about a circle. So circumference is the distance around a circle. It's basically the perimeter of a circle, but we know mathematicians and scientists like to make up words, so they had to come up with another one for this. So the around the outside of the circle is called the circumference instead of the perimeter of a circle, which is really the same thing. So I'm not going to draw this, but if you look at your diagram, what that means is if we started at point A here and we went all the way around till we came back to A, that would be the circumference for that circle. Now, we got to know something to do the next section, and this is something you probably have seen before. Anybody know that funny little sign there? It's called pi. Just pi, not P-I-E. It's not something nice that we can eat, just pi. All right. And pi, for us, we're going to use 3.14. Now, I say for us because, and some of you might already know this, you might remember back when we did all those Venn diagrams and we did natural numbers and real numbers and all that kind of stuff. Well, pi is one of those decimals that never repeats and it never terminates. It just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. Somebody told me there's actually a song that gives you the first 100 digits of pi. So I'm going to go check that out later. Alex told me about that. I'm going to check that out and see. But for us, just so you know, 3.14 is not the exact amount. I should have made squiggly lines, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay, it's about 3.14, but that's good enough for what we're doing. That's good enough for what we're doing. And what pi is the ratio of the circumference to the diameter I just lost my spot. Hang on. To the diameter. Right in front of you, dummy. Okay. To the diameter of a circle. So it is the ratio, and you don't have to worry about understanding this, but I do want to let you know what it is in case you hear this again later. The ratio of the circumference to the diameter of a circle. That's what pi is. All right, we only got to do 2 more things on notes, guys, then we can hit homework. All right, here are the 2 things. The 2 things are the formulas for circumference. So these are the circumference formulas, and there's 2 of them. And I'll see if you can figure out how they're related. All right, so circumference, and we just use a C to mean circumference, is equal to pi times D stands for diameter. So there's our first formula. Circumference equals pi. Remember, we're going to use 3.14 times diameter. And the diameter is going to change. It depends on what kind of a circle it is. Sorry about that, guys. All right, now we have one more formula, the last one for notes. This also tells us circumference. Circumference also equals 2 pi r. I'm going to see in a minute if you can figure out how or why. 2 pi r. R stands for radius in this case. Now, if you look at your picture, okay, remember CD was a diameter, EF was a radius, but you know what? ED is also a radius, and EC is also a radius. So I want you to look at that. How do they relate? If ED is a radius and CD is a diameter, how are diameter and radius related in size? They both go through the center. I don't want to know position. I'm asking you, how are they related in size, the diameter to the radius? What do you think? Somebody give me a guess. Come on. I want you thinking. I want to know you're thinking. Somebody give me a guess. How are diameter and radius, how are they related in size? Diameter, radius. Diameter, radius, how are they related? Really? Nobody can give me an idea? Okay. Diameter is twice as long as the radius. See how radius is half of the diameter? This is half as long as this is. That's how they're related. Now, here's why I asked you, is up at here when we have the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. The reason you have to put a 2 in there is because the radius is half as long. So you need 2 radii to make up for 1 diameter. All righty. Well, a little disappointed you guys couldn't at least give me a guess on that one, but we're going to move on to homework, and I will wait until you get your papers set up. Okay, homework, and it's on RenWeb, but it's 1 to 10, 19 to 21, and 44 to 46 on pages 510 to 513, but that's also up on RenWeb. Jeremiah, that was true. But what you told me is more about position, not really size, is what I was going for. Okay, everybody good? Set up? Okay, I'm going to get to the right place in my book because now we're starting on 510. Okay, so let's go. First ones are true and false. Got a 50-50 shot at them. All right, let's see what it says. It says number 1 says that every diameter is a chord. Is that true or false? Well, you know what? If you still have your notes, go back to your notes and read to yourself what the definition of diameter is. It says diameter is a chord, right? So that one's going to be true. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says a radius is twice the length of a diameter. Okay, think about that. A radius is twice the length of a diameter. What do you think? What did we just look at? What was our picture? We just saw that the radius is half, right? So that's opposite. They actually did it backwards. So that one's going to be false because the diameter is the one that's bigger. Okay, so number 3, all radii of a circle are of equal length. Remember, again, the radius is from the center of the circle out. So it's saying that ED, EF, EC, it's saying that all of these are the same length. Is that true or false? Really? You can't type out a T or an F for me? Really? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's true. Honestly, you guys need to get a little bit more with it here. Okay, so number 4, all chords of a circle are of equal length. Okay, so that's saying, remember when we first started it, we said AB was a chord, but we said that CD is a chord also. So look at them. What do you think? Are they the same length? Okay, this one's false. Right, good job, buddy. All right, Jeremiah got this one right. False, they're not the same size. All right, let's look and see what number 5 wants us to do. All right, number 5 says find the circumference, round the answers to the nearest hundredth. All right, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the formulas. You don't have to do this, but it makes it easier for me to refer to them. So here are the 2 formulas. Okay, circumference equals pi times diameter, or circumference equals 2 pi, 2 times pi times the radius. Now, what did they tell us for 5? They say the radius is 8 feet, okay? Radius. Which one of these are we going to use for radius? Which one are we going to use for radius? Really? Pi diameter or 2 pi radius? Which one should we use? How about the one that has radius in it? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to write that down. We're going to say C. This is the actual problem for number 5. C is equal to 2 times, remember we decided that for us pi is just going to be 3.14, so I'm going to write down 3.14 for pi, times, and they said the radius is 8 feet, times 8 feet. So now, if you have your calculator, all we have to do is stick that in. 2 times 3.14 times 8, and that's going to give us our answer. So somebody stick that in for me. Tell me what you get. Thomas, this is your chance. I don't think 9 is online right now. Okay, that looks good to me. 50.24. So 50.24, and I think they said it was feet, so I'm going to add that in to be completely correct. So there's my answer for 5. All right, let's see what they tell us for 6. The diameter is 18 inches. All right, this time they tell us the diameter. So which one of these two are we going to use? Which ones are we going to use? We're going to use the diameter one. So let's set it up. So the circumference is equal to, remember we say that pi is 3.14 times the diameter, and they have a diameter of 18 inches. So this one's even easier. I just need somebody to plug in 3.14 times 18 and tell us what you get. Yep, good job, Jeremiah. You're doing good. Yep. First one, yep. You guys just slow punching buttons or what there? I tell you what, Zion gave me the last one, so Thomas or Jeremiah, why don't you punch that in? Tell me what you get. You can use your phone as a calculator. Doesn't matter right now. There you go. Thank you, Thomas. Okay, yes, and we know about the time, and I told you what we're going to do, fix it. Okay, so 56.42. And this time it was inches. So there we go. Okay, Jeremiah, that means the next one's on you, bubby. Okay, so let's see what the next one is. Number 7. Diameter of 1/2 inch. Okay, first off, it gives us a diameter. So we're going to use this one here, the diameter formula. So we're going to fill it in like this. C is equal to 3.14, that's pi, times the diameter. They said the diameter is 1/2 inch. I'm going to make it 0.5 because that's the same thing as a decimal. And that will make it easier for our Jerry to plug that into the calculator and tell me what it is, or the phone or whatever. Jerry, you are not making your sister do this, are you? Uh-huh. Oh my goodness gracious. What you get? You are. Okay, fine. What does Janiyah think the answer is?
I'm trying to find his calculator for him. That's what, oh, here it is. Now you can do it. Okay, give him a minute.
There we go. I was about to ask somebody to wake me up when he told me. Okay, so 1.57 inches. There we go. I could have worked that puppy out longhand in that amount of time. All right, so let's look at what 8 says. 8 says, find the diameter and radius of circles with a given circumference. Round to the nearest tenth. So what that means is it's going to give us the C this time, and we're going to find the D's and the R's, okay? So for the first one, it's 40 feet. So instead of C, I'm going to write down 40 equals, now I already know that pi is 3.14, and then I'm going to put down D because that's what I don't know right now. So that's going to be my variable. Now, if we have a problem that looks like this, how do we go about solving it? Okay, remember, if you have a number right next to a variable, it means it's multiplying, and we have to do the opposite. So the opposite of multiplying is going to be dividing, right? So we're going to divide by 3.14 on both sides. Now, I need somebody to do 40 divided by 3.14. Good job, guys. You need to divide. That's good. Now I just need somebody to do 40 divided by 3.14. I'm going to round it to tenths, remember. Okay, 12.8. That looks good. So that means our diameter is equal to 12.8. Okay. Now I think you might have rounded up a little bit high, but that's okay. We'll go with that. Now, what did we say? How is radius related to diameter? It's half as big. So if we divide this by 2, we'll get the radius. So 12.8 divided by 2 is going to give us 6.4. And by the way, I think that this one actually comes out to be 12.7 something. Okay, but we'll wait on that. It's okay. We're close enough on this one. Okay, everybody cool on this one? Can I go on? All right, so let's do number 9. This time Thomas or Jeremiah is going to have to give me the answer because that was Zion. All right, so they say the circumference is 2 miles, all right? So just like up here, instead of C, I'm going to put down 2 for 2 miles equals pi 3.14 times the diameter, which I don't know, so I'm going to put down D again to be my variable. So here's my formula, or here's my problem to start out with. 2 equals 3.14 D. Okay, so now I'm going to divide both sides by what? By the number that's with my variable. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. So I need somebody to do 2 divided by 3.14. Okay, whoa, good job, Jeremiah. You're right, 0.6. Good job. All right, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say my diameter is 0.6. What did they say these were? Miles. And again, they want radius, but remember, I know my radius is going to be half of this dude. Okay, so half of 0.6 is going to be 0.3. And so that's going to be my radius. All righty. Okay, Thomas, but you want me to go back? All right, tell me where you got confused. Remember, they gave us the 2 miles for the circumference. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Okay, 2 miles for circumference equals pi 3.14 times the diameter. Okay, and then what we did is, so we had, hang on, it looked like this. So it would have looked like this. And then remember, you always divide by the number that's with the variable. So we divided both sides by 3.14. Now remember, that crosses through over here. That's why we do that, because it gets rid of this one. And then we got 2 divided by 3.14 is 0.6. And we bring down the d. So diameter is 0.6. Okay, you would have put in 2 divided by 3.14 into your calculator. If you put it in the other way, you might have gotten a different number. You have to put the 2 in first. 2 divided by 3.14. It gives you 0.6. And then, because we know that the diameter is twice as big as the radius, we divide it in half to get the radius of 0.3. Making any more sense? Okay. All right. Now, guys, listen up. Here's what's going to happen, because this happened in the other pre-algebra class. It doesn't matter. All right. In a minute, they're going to close it down because we're only allowed to use for 40 minutes at a time. Don't panic. Here's what we're going to do. You give me about a minute or two. I'm going to start a new meeting, and I'm going to send you the link personally in an email. All right? So you need to check in a couple minutes. This is going to end. Check your email. Whatever email gets the school stuff, that's the email you need to check, and it'll give you a new link. Okay? And then we'll finish up. So don't go away.